Welcome back to the AAA MF YouTube channel. What do we have here? This is the last of a breed, a Metzger engine from Porsche producing nearly 500 brake horsepower from a naturally aspirated engine with a manual gearbox with loads of carbon fiber. But this is not the future. This is a dying breed. Lamborghini, Ferrari don't even make manual gearboxes anymore, and most cars are going turbocharged due to emission laws. So if you want an electric car and you want to move towards the future, what's the best looking electric car out there now? I think it's the BMW i8 Roadster. Doesn't this thing look incredible? It may have a mini engine, a 1.5 litre turbocharged engine, but it looks fantastic. You only get doors like this on supercars like Koenigsegg, Lamborghini, McLaren, not on an electric car. I think it looks fantastic. The engineers have been really clever as well with this car. Just as an example, this grille here, you can see, is actually closed off. That's because the engineers found that the warm air from the radiators went into the cabin, so they've closed this off. Very clever. I like the sculpture of the car anyway. I like the look of the coupe. When I'm driving along in London and I see one of these, I always take a second glance. I think they look futuristic. And now having the roof down is even better. I love cabriolets. I've got a Boxster Spider. I love having the roof down. So this should be the perfect car if you want to save the environment. So, shall we jump inside and have a look? So it's got this big, wide sill here. Now, obviously, being a convertible, they've had to strengthen the body, and they've done that through using more carbon fiber into this A-pillar here, which you can see, and in the doors. And this is a carbon fiber tub, in case you didn't know. So it's an aluminium chassis with a carbon fiber tub. So, quite wide to get in. But once you're in, it's really nice. You've got the 6-speed automatic gearbox. You've got the nice heads-up display there. It's a lovely place to be. They've had to get rid of the little rear seats for the Roadster version because the coupe has tiny little seats behind. Let's see how easy these dihedral doors are to use. So there's a button here that you press to open them. Press the button and push. And they've got a nice strut there, which makes it easier to actually push up. It's actually easier than a McLaren. The McLaren's quite hard to actually get up in the air. So I've got the keys. We've got the start-stop button here, so let's turn it on. And that's a weird sensation. The car is on, but you don't hear any engine. That's weird. Okay, so vehicle is ready to operate, it says. There you go, Jay. Look, vehicle is ready to operate. Okay, let's take it for a drive and tell you what we think. So welcome to the BMW i8 Roadster. So I've always admired this car for the looks, always. I've seen the coupe version when it first came out. I thought it looked incredible. And then when the i8 Roadster came out, I thought they did a fantastic job on the styling. But I've never driven one, and I had no idea what to expect. So I've been driving it now for about half an hour, and here are some of my impressions. It's definitely not a sports car or a supercar. It may look like a supercar with the dihedral doors, but it doesn't feel like a supercar or even a sports car to drive. What it feels like is a BMW 3 Series to drive. It's very, very comfortable. It's got a 6-speed automatic gearbox. It's very smooth, but it doesn't feel sporty. But in its favor, I would say that having the roof down makes it fun. Doesn't make it sporty, makes it fun. And I'm quite a fan of having the roof down. I just bought the Boxster Spider about 4 or 5 months ago. I love having the roof down in all weathers, not only when the sun is out. It's really nice to put the roof down even when it's cold, as long as it's not raining. So let's talk about the hybrid side of this car. So you get that electric power when you're going up to around 30 miles an hour. It's pretty weird sensation, but it's also a nice sensation. You're sitting in traffic and you hear absolutely nothing. It's quite comforting and relaxing, to be honest with you. I like it. And you know that you're not damaging the environment when you're sitting at a standstill. You're not burning fumes. So that's also nice. I really like the heads-up display. It's got a digital dash in front of you that shows the miles per hour that you're doing, and on the left of that it shows the speed limit for the road that you're on. I think that's very, very clever. You can't ever say to a policeman, I didn't know what the speed limit was on the road. So around little B roads like we're on now, it's in electric mode. You can't hear the engine, and it's quite a weird sensation. I do like it though. I do like it. We're very lucky today though. We've got no rain, which is quite rare for my videos. If you saw my 488 Pista video, I went to Portugal to try and get good weather and it was raining. We went to Bruntingthorpe to do a drag race. It was raining. But today, we've got the i8 Roadster and we've got beautiful sunshine. So we're very lucky. I love having the roof down. It really, really adds a lot of character to this car. So as you may or may not know, this has the engine from the Mini. It's a 3-cylinder, 1.5 litre turbocharged engine. And it actually sounds really good when the petrol engine kicks in. It sounds kind of grunty, which I didn't expect either. And another thing that's nice about this car is because you've obviously got the electric power kicking off the car from standstill, you don't get any lag at all, and you never feel like this car is slow. It has really nice power delivery, and it goes on to a top speed of 155 miles an hour. It's pretty impressive. This car still looks very modern, I think, on the road. There's nothing on the road that really kind of looks like this apart from a supercar. You know, you don't get these doors. It looks really low and slung. I really like the look. Really, really appeals to me. So let's talk about some of the things that I like on the car and some of the things that I don't like on the car, and a few little quirks. So this window here, if you put it down, doesn't go down all the way. So you can't rest your arm really because the window doesn't go all the way down. I'm not sure why that is. Maybe BMW can tell us. I don't know if it's a safety feature, but it's a bit weird. Okay. The nice thing about this car is that you get lots of admiring glances in this, and people don't give you kind of envy looks, which you get in a lot of supercars. They're like, oh, it's an electric car. Oh, that's quite nice. So that's a positive. Not being able to hear the engine is a positive and a negative. Being a real true car enthusiast, I like to hear the engine, okay, most of the time, but actually it's a positive when you're doing low speeds around town. So in built up areas, the city, stopping in traffic, it's nice to not hear the engine, in my opinion. So that's a positive and a negative. Obviously people can't hear you when you're approaching them in electric mode. So you've actually got to be extra careful when you're driving along parked cars, because if people are coming from the parked cars to cross the road, they can't hear your engine. So you have to think about that. What else do we love about it? I've already mentioned the looks. I love the look of the car. What's really surprising is that it doesn't feel like a supercar or a sports car. That's quite surprising to me and Jay, my cameraman, because we expected it to feel sporty and the chassis to feel sporty, but it doesn't. It feels like a luxurious coupe convertible 3 Series. So I'm guessing that means that it will appeal to a slightly different audience, because if you're getting into this car expecting a really sporty drive, you're going to be disappointed. So being a hybrid means less visits to the petrol station. So if you were using this car to go to the office and you weren't going on any motorways, you were only going in the city, you could actually keep this in electric mode and you could just charge it every night and you wouldn't have to visit a petrol station, because the petrol engine only kicks in really when you're going above kind of 30 miles an hour and you're on long roads, long stretches like motorways. But when you're in a city, built up area, you're using the electric mode. So less visits to the petrol station, which is nice. BMW i8 Roadster. It looks like a supercar, and I think it transforms the BMW i8, because I think with the roof down, it's a lot more fun. We drove with the roof up and it wasn't fun. So what makes this car fun is having the roof down. So well done BMW for chopping off the roof. It doesn't feel like a sports car to drive though. It feels sporty, and you've got the sports mode, which really changes the way the car feels, the way it accelerates, but it still doesn't handle like a sports car. Does this car appeal to real car enthusiasts though? For me, it doesn't. Why not? It doesn't drive like a sports car. It's a little bit wafty. It feels very sporty, especially when you put it into sport mode. It really feels really nice, the acceleration, and changes the dynamic of the car. But the handling doesn't feel like a sports car, and I still want to hear a nice engine behind me. That said, this car probably appeals to a lot of people, because a lot of people don't want to drive supercars because you can't see out of supercars, they're too loud, they're not economic. This one obviously is very economical, you can see out of it very well, and I think now that the prices have dropped so much, it probably makes sense. So brand new, these are around £130,000. But on the market, second-hand, they're around £75,000 to £80,000. That's a huge discount, and they're only about a year old. So offers great value for money. The coupes are probably around now £50,000 to £60,000. So it's unlikely the Roadster's really going to drop much below £70,000, probably over the next 12 to 18 months. It's nice to know that you don't have to go to a petrol station. If you're living in a city, built-up area, you can keep it in electric mode. So I think that's really nice. For me, I would like to have a lighter car, a little bit more sporty. I'm sure BMW know how to do that, and I am sure that that is coming in time. But for now, although this doesn't appeal to me, I think that this appeals to an awful lot of people. If I was to buy an electric car now, I would go for the Honda NSX. I've driven that car, I love it. This has the advantage of having the roof down, and that's a big appeal for a lot of people, including me. But if Honda are listening, please build an NSX with a Targa roof like they've done in the past. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Loads more content coming.